All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Court of the Rings on twitch.tv/LotraStream. I'm your community manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next hour, hanging out, having some fun. I've got some Q&A, some latest news. We have got stuff happening in the next week. We have been on a busy roll here for the past couple of weeks. Heck, we're even bringing back the Monster Player Reward track. What? Yeah, I'm going to have some information about that in just a little bit, along with our first Bull Roar preview, tentatively expected for next week for Legacy of Morgoth. And we're going to have more information about that and a whole bunch of other things later on in the show. And then I'm on Angmar. I'm almost level 50. I'm level 49. And I got up to 8.5 in the Epic story just I guess 2 nights ago, and I thought, well, that's a good stopping off point for tonight and a good jumping on point for the stream. So we're going to be running an instance here doing the epic stuff. I'm about ready to cap level 50. I've been trying to hit up some ring wraith fights, and otherwise we've got a lot going on inside of the game as well. So that's where we are. Did I get to view a Nazgul yet? I have. I grabbed video that I was hoping was going to be really awesome video. Unfortunately, the video had some technical problems, so I might be able to steal a few clips from it. But the video itself isn't really something I can just kind of play raw on the live stream. But I did. I was on Angmar, I guess it was not quite a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago now, and I was able to get in, and I was on Angmar, and it was one of those that was, I was in Angmar, on Angmar, and it was in Angmar, and I was able to get to it without even having to get an invite or anything like that. When I showed up, I was among the first people in the layer, so boom, there I am. I almost had to stop myself from aggroing the ring wraith, because I was in the hazy bit, right, and you couldn't really tell where everyone else was, and I was like, well, I know the ring wraith's there, I think I saw some movement over this way. How do I get to these people without aggroing this thing? And I did, and we won. And I didn't get kicked out of the fight the whole way. I was just on a regular play account, no special shenanigans or anything. And yeah. So I do indeed have my first Morgul coin. I've tried 3 other times and haven't been able to get in really just because of demand. Well, the first one was because I just took me too long to get there. The second one was because I got there, but then I couldn't get in. And the third one was I got in there pretty quick, but I couldn't get in. And that's sort of how that goes a little bit. But I did get in. At least once, and I'll be working on that more here in the coming days. My goal is to try to grab some video when I'm doing this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to turn it into something cool, but I know that if I don't grab the video, it'll never be something cool. So we're going to give it a try and just see what we can do there. Yes. Good question, Broken Shield. I will follow up on that. I believe the answer is yes, and the question is from Broken Shield. People are asking, are we going to have to buy the Monster Player reward track when it comes back? If you do not own the Monster Player reward track, you will need to have access to it in order to utilize it. So the answer to that part is yes. If you already purchased the Monster Player reward track, the answer is no. It's going to be coming back here. I'll have more details here in just a minute when I get to some of the update 41.3 release notes for next week. We'll talk about it then in terms of specific detail. But the answer is if you already have it, you'll be fine. If you don't have it, you would need to purchase it again. I will actually have to double check with the store team to make sure that we put it back on sale when we bring it back. I assume we will. I don't know why we wouldn't, but there we go. Oh, I can only take partial credit on the name Ramen getting unlocked. I can take credit for helping raise your concern to the team, and the team ultimately discussing and being, all right, fine. Well, we're doing work in here anyway. Let's take care of this. So, all right. It's true, Luzerio, that the reward tracks are not yet on Angmar and Mordor. Those will be hot when they get here. They'll be getting here with Moria, and Moria's coming soonish. It'll be a little while yet, but Moria's coming soonish, and we'll have more on that for Angmar and Mordor when we get closer to it. All right. There we go. Let me swap cameras. You're looking at some landscape footage from Legacy of Morgoth. This is in near Harad, I believe. Specifically where in near Harad, I don't know because I didn't take the footage. And it wasn't marked. It was just marked as a number in terms of the file. So I don't know, like, specifically where it is. That transition was because the video just looped over. But yeah. So we're looking at cool Legacy of Morgoth stuff, and I've got a few of these. I'm going to be doing them for the next couple of weeks, putting these on in the background, just for funsies, because it looks pretty nice, does it not? I would mention that we are on track for next week, so far, to be doing our first beta, our first bull roar for Legacy of Morgoth. Stay tuned for more information. The goal is to get it out on Tuesday. So that would be October 1st. If everything goes well, on October 1st, we're going to have our first Legacy of Morgoth preview on Bull Roar. I would also call out October 1st for two other reasons. The first being a deadline. The Dragon in the Storm leading the charge deeds will be no longer available to earn. I have at midnight, so when the 30th becomes the 1st, you're toast. That seems weird to me. No, that's Pacific time. Okay, so 3 a.m. Eastern on October 1st. The Dragon in the Storm leading the charge deeds will no longer be available. So 3 a.m. Eastern, October 1st. The other thing on October 1st is the Hardtack crafting event comes back. And I've got some changes that are going to be coming to the event the following day, and the release notes for update 41.3, but it is going to be on its regular time frame schedule, where Hardtack arrives on the 1st of the month, and the Forester crafting event arrives on the 15th of the month, and they go for 7 days. So, that's what's up. And then on Wednesday of next week, we're set to do update 41.3, assuming everything works out. And so let me get to the release notes on that one. All right. So these are in process. These have been checked by me, but they have not been checked by QA. I pinged them on Teams. So if anything's wrong, it's my fault, not theirs. And so this is not the final release notes, is what I'm saying. But this is what I got so far for next week, and probably what will be in next week's patch. Asterisk if I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, you're wrong. Alright, so for the Veil of the Nine, we're doing one change, where the marks will now last up to 1 hour to create larger windows for special events formats. That doesn't really mean much right now, but it will mean more as we talk about the work that Vastin talked about on the live stream last week related to instancing and things like that. But because we want to get this stuff in place, we're doing some of these changes right away now. So in update 41.3, once you get a mark, it'll last for up to an hour. Largely is irrelevant now, will become more relevant in the future. The mark will still be removed when you get a reward. So as long as you got a reward, that mark will be removed, but instead of disappearing right away, it'll persist for an hour. And that's going to be part of a series of changes that we're doing to open up sort of an instance opportunity for Nazgul fights in the near future. They are also now immune to force taunt effects. You can't force taunt a Nazgul. What? Nope on that one. So Year of the Dragon. Fix some issues with monster summons and stats in the solo and duo versions of the instance. Solo enemy morale has gone up about 15%, defense is reduced a bit. The solo duo enemy enhancement buff is now visible to players. Avatars of War no longer summon group difficulty shades in solo duo, and Ragrakul no longer summons group difficulty Grims when in the solo duo version. Really, we're just making... I have not found on the solo duo mode particularly difficult on the Year of the Dragon instance, but the group difficult is pretty gosh darn hard in my experience. But we're doing some tweaking to better align the solo duo to correct some things from the Fellowship version that essentially snuck in there. Alright, so let's get to a couple of things with the Hardtack crafting event. The first thing that we got going on, and like I say, this will arrive about little less than 24 hours after the hardtack crafting event makes its October 1st debut. So there is going to be a little bit of a weird 24 hours there. But an issue that was sometimes causing the event to get out of sync is being addressed. So with Wednesday's patch, once we bring the game worlds back up, it'll have a locked-in timing issue resolved. Title descriptions adjusted to match the new number of completions needed to earn them in the hardtack event. We also fixed a typo. There's no longer an errant broadcast happening in the hardtack event space. Additionally, all event announcements will now also happen in the event space. All crafted food will now correctly display its correct duration. Also, you can't trade birds. What, man? You can't trade birds. Birds collected while birding are not intended to be tradable. I mean, I told you I saw it, but okay. They should auto-consume and add to your collections panel. In the rare case where these birds do appear in inventory, they will now be bound to character and can simply be used from your inventory. This addresses a user interface issue that will ultimately need to be further refined in the future, where instead of auto-consuming and showing up in your collections panel, during some series of events, the collection item was sticking around in people's inventory, and because it was not marked as prohibited to trade, people were able to gift each other bird findings, and that's not the way we actually want to do it. So they're supposed to just be auto-consumed. And so we had to put a bound character on it. If you do find yourself in this situation, I haven't, maybe you have, just consume it. The Adventures of Bingo Boffin will now be completed through a change of name on Mordor and Angmar starting next Wednesday. This addresses an issue with an NPC who is located in gated content on Angmar and Mordor, but we've been able to fix it so that you can run Bingo Boffin through a change of name. And that's something I should actually do on the live stream here. I have never done the Bingo Boffin quests. Maybe that would be a marathon stream, just to start doing 10 hours of Bingo Boffin or something. I mean, I'm deliberately hiding that note because it's incorrect. Anyway, okay. Force taunts can again overwrite one another without waiting for the active force taunt to expire on your target. We fixed a typo on the radar, where players and monster players would be labeled as Warband instead of Glory Seeker. The Runekeeper skill Fulgurite Runestone effects is now affected by the Enable Avatar Hit Effects Game option. Alright. That's the end of the accurate notes. Now let me get to the monster player reward track thing. The monster player reward track thing is something that's in process as of this morning, so the end result could change slightly from what I'm about to tell you. But there was an issue with the monster player reward track, which made its very first debut in August, where the countdown clock on it wasn't functioning correctly. And it caused some confusion and problems with people who purchased it and what have you. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing it back for an encore starting next week. The goal is to start this on Thursday, October 2nd, sometime around 10 a.m. Eastern, and run it through 9:59 a.m. on November 4th. So, we've reactivated the Season 1 Monster Players Reward Track. Remember, there will be future seasons that'll be different things that you'll have to buy every time. But anyway, Monster Player Reward Track Season 1, it's going to be reactivated next week. It'll be active for advancement and claims through the 4th of November. If you've been active since the reward track was disabled, your progress is reset. You can complete the track again. If you have not been active since September 16th, which is when the track went inactive, you'll be able to advance and claim any remaining rewards. So the tricky bit with this, and the part that we had to struggle with a little bit in terms of how to bring this back until we've landed on this, is that if you hadn't logged in since the time that the reward track became inactive, and we make the track active, if you log in after the point that it's been reactivated, it'll be like it never deactivated. But if at any point after it's deactivated, you logged in, then it marks that, which means you can re-earn it. So you can get a second one or another version of the benefit. So it's a little weird, but we've heard you, and we're bringing it back. And either way, either you get a chance to earn this stuff again, or you get the chance to continue your progress and claim your stuff. It's going to be a solution. So next Thursday, starting around 10 a.m., is the plan for that. Oh, Thursday's the 3rd. You're right. Uh, Well, that's part of why I'm not showing you the text that I had in the release notes because it was incorrect. So I don't know if it's going to be 10 a.m. on the 2nd or the 3rd, but I'll get that clarified. It'll be in the release notes when they actually do go live next week, so you'll be fully informed. But the point is, next week we're turning the Monster Player reward track back on, and you'll be able to re-earn your stuff. And then, like we discussed earlier, if you already have the track, you don't have to buy it again. If you don't have the track, I will have to speak to the store team to make sure our intention is to re-enable purchases of it, although I don't see why we wouldn't. Why not, right? Yeah. All right, let me get through questions real quick before I move on to a couple more bits of news and then get inside of the game. You want to, someone say, I want everyone to know how happy I am on Mordor Epic. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, it's been very enjoyable playing on Angmar on the 64-bit server. I've been really liking it myself. When is Moria? I can't tell you. Sorry. We have plans. We're working on our schedule. We do have an expansion to get out first, so I can tell you that much. We all hands on deck, and we're all working toward the expansion, and then we're going to really focus on the next priorities, which will be getting Moria to the legendary worlds of Angmar and Mordor, etc. We'll have more information on timing. I don't even want to hint at it at this point. It's too hot a topic, but it'll be a little while yet. I'm sorry, you're right. I'm using a coffee mug of a streamer for the other game. But all I can say is I have the Deco Doodle U mug too, and that shows up on the DDO side. But the reality is, if you want to get your promo, you get me a free coffee mug. You figure out how to send it my way, and I'll probably use it on air. Uh-oh, what did I just unleash? I want to get the Wraith mark so I can run all over the game and take cool screenshots. Yes. T3 Rift Close 1. Well, I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. There goes your illegal underground bird ring. Bird discovery ring. I mean, you're not trading birds, you're just trading the fact that you saw a bird. How would you like to purchase the knowledge of the fact that I saw a robin? So, Telerian, it's not the worst idea in the world to... Well, there's an issue with what you're describing, but there's some Warsteed cosmetics that are barterable at a festival that are bound to character, and you want to make sure that we further bulletproof to prevent you from buying it more than once in your character. And you're saying it could be marked as exclusive or unique, and that is a solution, but that also means then you couldn't put more than one of them if you ever wanted to for some reason in like a container or chest or something. And so I think, but perhaps maybe there's some way we could, it would be a solution. It's a thought anyway. Okay. How many taters did I craft on Angmar? I crafted no taters. No taters were crafted in the making of River Hunter level 49. What I did do is largely run the epic book, There was a couple of gaps in the teens and again in the 20s where I ran a whole bunch of missions. There was the Midsummer Festival that got me some goodies. Or what, not Midsummer, Farmer's Fair got me some goodies. And I've run just a couple of skirmishes as well. But for the most part, I've been filling. I got two chapter 8 point, I guess it was 3 here, and I was only level 45, and that was a couple weeks ago, and we saw that on the live stream. And it's just a little low to be running this stuff. So I've been just plugging away at it, getting better, and I'm all the way up to 49 now. About 49, a little under half. So I'm doing pretty good in terms of just about hitting level cap. But I've mostly just ran the epic book. This character largely was, I would say, 60% of the time was run on camera on stream, and 40% of the time was run off camera at night, kind of to wrap up the night. Like, I'd get on at around 11 o'clock or so and quest and get some XP for an hour before going to bed. And so that's where I'm at in terms of progress along my character in Mordor. Yeah, just there was a couple of skirmishes that you can run that when I needed a little bit of XP. Let me figure out which ones did I run, or not skirmishes, but instances. Yeah, sorry, instances, not skirmishes. I ran some of these instances. All right. Hey, before I actually get in here, let me. Well, I can get in and turn up my audio. But I did actually have just a few more bits of news I wanted to get to. The first thing I wanted to mention is that we did have our third Legacy of Morgoth landscape preview this past Wednesday at 2 p.m. right here on our Twitch channel. That's now up on YouTube at Lord of the Rings if you're interested in checking it out. And we went through Imhular. That was scenario this past week. Next Wednesday will be Urish-Dar. And the week after that should be a look through some of the Legacy of Morgoth instances. For this weekend for the news, I wanted to mention quick that we have got a 25% XP boost. That goes through September 29th, gets shut off at 3 a.m. Eastern on the 30th. You can take a look at the sales, and I think that's largely what I have for news, because I got Hardtack back, start of Legacy of Morgoth on Bull Roar potentially next week, the end of the Dragon and the Storm leading the charge deed on Tuesday, 3 a.m. Eastern, 41.3 set for Wednesday, our next casual stroll set for Wednesday, the start of the Monster Player reward track. I have it on our calendar as Thursday. But I don't know if that's for realsies or if that should actually be Wednesday. That's where I'm at right now. Whether it's Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to have to get back to you on that. We were literally making these decisions about 45 minutes ago. So, and then potentially a second Bull Roar preview the week following. And then Harvest Math after that. I would mention that on next Friday's show. There's a pretty good chance I'll be showing off. I'll be showing the Harvest Math stuff. That's what I'll be doing, showing off the new itemization from Harvest Math. Oh, I haven't turned up my audio yet. That explains why Golodir is so quiet. The main thing I picked up class-wise here is I got this Nature's Fury now after hitting 49. Getting enough trait points to spend into it. It looks like it's basically an AoE frost effect that is further bolsters both the Wizard's Frost here that I got in addition to my Gust of Wind. So something like proc Nature's Fury and then use Wizard's Frost as a quick cast, and Gust of Wind is a longer cast, and if they're still taking damage after that, then I could follow up with something like do the same with Cracked Earth and Ents Go to War, or whatever. I mean, it's a bunch of different options. But anyway, that's the new bit. And also, I've been liking this Ring of Fire as well. I have not, like I say, I need to get smarter about putting in Master of Nature's Fury here, or whatever that's called. Get better at that. Now, it does have a fairly long cooldown on the Nature's Fury as well. It's a 2-minute cooldown, so it's kind of a once per heavy encounter thing. So, I have to be honest, Orion Eternal, both last week and this week, if you listen closely to my voice, you may notice that something's up. And what's up is that I guess, more than a week ago now, 8 days ago now, I was eating a slice of pizza, and I bit my tongue so hard that I injured it. And I actually have a scar in there, like kind of a hard little knot scar that I've been having that's been bothering the gosh darn heck out of me for the last 8 days. It's on its way out. It's been 8 days now, but if you wonder why I've been sounding a little weird last week and this week, a little bit lispy or whatever, that is actually why. I have an injury. I have a professional speaking injury. Alright, let's use this Nature's Fury just for funsies. Yeah, see, now that shows up as low pressure, and that shows up as burning gale. I don't recommend it. It was shocking and painful and awful. As a matter of fact, I was really hungry. I hadn't eaten all day, and it was like 5 p.m., and I was just finally getting around to eating some food. And, I just wasn't thinking. It was just out of the blue. I don't know. I did some weird coincidence of placement of various body bits just happened, and next thing I know, crunch. So... these have got to be among the creepiest creatures in our game. Oh my gosh. That enraged pale folk? Look at that thing. Look at that thing. It's gonna haunt my nightmares for a while. What the heck? Why did I don't think I noticed that until just now. I don't believe in stat sticks? Probably not. I don't know. I actually don't say I'm vegan. I'm not vegan. Just to be clear, I'm not vegan. I am vegetarian and have been for many decades. But I haven't crossed over into total veganism yet. I happily eat vegan, but I'm also big into my cheese and dairy. So. No, I have not had an opportunity. We're really full speed ahead on working toward Legacy of Morgoth development. And so all the developers really are heads down and doing the work that they need to do to get that out. And so having people like Cordovan swing by their desks and bothering them about when on the Hunter update, perhaps not the most socially acceptable time to be bothering the devs about unknown future class work, but I know it's on the list, so we'll have more information about that soon. This is a very cool instance space. That's why I wanted to run it on stream. I love this instance space. It's right up there with some of our really good stuff. I do not have a level 50 on Angmar, but I probably will by Monday. You can see right now I'm level 49.5 and cooking along just fine. So it should be set by next Friday at the very least. I'll be up to level 50 and set and ready to go. There is no hope against Angmar's might. Yeah, the futility is one of their bigger weapons, is it not? Alright. See that kind of growing on me too. Yeah, I mean honestly, I'll probably be 50 by midnight tonight. Honestly, if I was thinking about playing a little bit tonight, and if I do, that'll probably get me. I haven't been that worried about it, to be honest. It just really hasn't been a giant priority for me to hit level 50. I know I'm going to do it just fine. Especially since this character is built to run content to some extent on Motra stream here. It's kind of my show character, I suppose you could say, at the moment. That's my show kitty that you're hearing. But, you know, there's pieces of it where it's like, I get to a point, I'm like, oh, this next part's really good, I need to save it for the live stream. And I'll do that. So. Alright. Well, when there's a dearth of hope, you can always count on a kitty to meow to provide all the hope and fight against shadow you might need. Yep. Hello, Lizzie. How are you doing here today? Do you want to say hello to your audience? You want to say hello to your fans? Yeah. I know that there's a lot of demand for the legendary item reward track in Angmar and Mordor. It'll arrive soon. And we need to think a little medium and long term here on Angmar and Mordor as well. It'll arrive, it'll be exciting, and you'll have plenty of time to get your stuff. Alright. Lizzie is like, no, I want to be on camera. Let's see if I can cover up this human.
What can I do for you?
She likes to sit on the desk. I have to have a clear space, a kitty-sized space. There better not be anything on it. It's over by my right monitor, and she just sits there, staring at me and meowing occasionally while I work. And I think at the moment she's saying, my dish is empty, this is your fault. Do something about it. I don't care what you're doing.
Greetings.
An unsettling end to our battle. I fear there's more than what we see on the surface. But we cannot deal with this matter now. We should leave before we're overrun with Angmar. Agreed.
The gift of Dunakar, Avenger of the West, renewed Golodir's spirit, and with the sword he avenged the death of his daughter. But though Morderith was weakened, he was not destroyed, retreating to nurse his hurts and plot revenge. How will this help us in our struggles? Will Sauron maintain control, or will another power claim Angmar?
It was. I think it's been a good part of what's been able to be part of Lotro's legacy, right? I think we had some real strong tour de force story writing in parts of
I
this, and
fear
this
we have
is,
not
I
seen
think, a
the
good
last
example.
of the false king.
Return to Karn Doom, which is what I'm going to be doing anyway, because the other thing I've been doing on my character here is I'm working on my class quests, so I'm basically just working on my articles of mystery and implements of knowledge, and that's sending me through Angmar. And now that I'm on the third tier of it, I'm heading into Karn Doom anyway. So it seems like the content and my class book stuff or class quests are aligning pretty nicely right now. So I'll be doing that, I think, here this weekend. In terms of items, I don't think there's actually anything I want here. Maybe this? Yeah, I suppose this.
Might I take a moment of your time?
News of our success be brought to my chieftain Aragorn. You have met him then? He's at Rivendell? Go then and speak to Aragorn in one of the guest rooms along the road, winding up the southern slope. We know where that is. I will. I will, Golodir. So I am tempted to say, and I apologize, but I am tempted to say that none of us are going to get any peace unless I get up off my butt and put some food in a certain kitty's dish, even though it's 12:37. I think unless we were prepared to hear meowing for the next 23 minutes, I've got something I need to do. So maybe let me go real quick, pop back on that coming soon music, and I will take care of that in just a second. So I'll be back in just a second. Sorry. Everyone likes to see the cat, but we don't want to hear the cat meowing for 20 minutes. So, there we go. Yeah, she does say that. I have not been fed in, I don't know, probably years.
Greetings.
I think the current track, the most I would say at this point about timing for Moria on Angmar and Mordor. I want to be careful about kind of what I'm saying here, but I think what I would be willing to say today is we're on track to work to release Moria to Angmar and Mordor before the end of the year. And further detail than that, I wouldn't want to get into. Notice how it's gotten quiet all of a sudden? Huh, I wonder what changed. Oh, where am I going? I'm going here. No, Nikel, I have nothing further to announce about further deployment of 64-bit server technology in the Lord of the Rings Online. I think for those of you who do pay attention to both games, you'll know that last Friday we announced kind of a DDoified version of Angmar and Mordor, minus the European server part, on the DDO side. So in terms of Standing Stone Games hardware infrastructure projects, I think that'll be the immediate focus. Now that we've had the success we've had so far on the Lotro side, we want to start bringing that success to the DDO side. And then we have plans, frankly, for both games here longer term that we've already spoken about. So.
You have earned great praise. Greetings.
Megan, I will have to look into that. I appreciate what you're saying there. I think it's because they're items for housing, and so the idea is we need to have physical constraints so they can't just all flutter around. And that's why the birds are put into a cage. But I can appreciate what you're saying. I totally do. So I don't know if that's something that we would ever be able to do, make an adjustment on, but I can appreciate what you're saying for sure. That's true, we do have the bird bath. We are getting close as to when the pre-purchase will be available for Legacy of Morgoth. I can't break news ahead of time. I'm not allowed to say it'll be X day or Y day. This is one of those things that historically, as SSG, we have always been like this, and as far as I'm aware, we're always going to be like this, which is that when it's available to purchase, we are going to rev up that hype train and get it going. But I can't start revving it in the garage so that you can hear it beforehand. Oops. Wrong way again. But soon. SSG style soon. Or the bird cages could at the very least be open. That's what I would do. Have those bird cages be homes that have got open doors on them. No, the expansion will need to be purchased by all accounts. The expansion will not be free to VIP.
Why do you disturb me?
What's this you say? The Palantir stolen?
Why do you disturb me?
I've heard of your adventures in Karn Doom, and I'm concerned. Besides your strange encounter with her during your travels, I've never heard of Sarah Oakhart, and I'm troubled. There are few now in this age who have even heard of the Palantiri, much less be concerned enough to steal them. More so, they've now become dangerous. For Sauron possesses the Ithil stone, which he has certainly bent to his will. Return to Golodir at Gathforthnir and help him search for Sarah Oakhart and the Palantir. I fear that only evil will come of these events.
Why do you disturb me?
You know, I should grab this audio. I wonder if I can...
Why do you disturb me?
Why do you disturb me? And make it available to some, like, Twitch notifications. That'd be a pretty good one. If someone, like, gives you bits, or, joins your stream, or maybe raids you. Maybe this should be our raid one.
Why do you disturb me?
I think I might actually be in Gathforthnir. Let's see. No. As a text message notification on your phone. Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. Yes. Oh, actually, I think I can get to there from Stable Master?
Well met.
Yes. Alright, so we got about 12 minutes left on the stream. I think I've pretty much covered all the news. I'm just trying to think about, because there's always something that I miss. And then afterwards, like, oh, you dummy, you should have brought that up. But I think I got it all this time. I'm very slowly starting to work, turn my attention back to the Locho Discord. I have got a lot that I have been doing this week related to things that you just heard about, things that you heard about last week, and things that you'll hear about next week. But one of the things on my short-term to-do list is to turn my attention back to the Locho Discord and really take all the things I've learned now that I've deployed the DDO side one for about a month or so now, and start repopulating all that out, getting the localization and language onboarding set up, because I think that's how I'm going to do it, and then start bringing in a request for volunteer moderators, give people a week or so to send in their applications. We'll go through them. We'll send the NDAs through Daybreak Legal. We'll get the moderators onboarded to the Discord, and then we'll open it up within a couple days after that. So that's the plan, is to get the Locher Discord out by, around, on, hopefully not too long after the launch of Legacy of Morgoth. Like an official one, yes. With audio voice chat capability. Not in-game, but it'll be like an alternative. I am not aware of the Moria content undergoing significant changes from what it currently is. I could be wrong there, but if it's happening, I'm not aware of it yet. So I would... Oh, this layered in. So I would expect to see no major overhaul for the way that Moria looks and feels compared to what you've experienced to date. It's Colonial. I can never remember which one Golodir's in. Apparently not this one. Alright. Third time's the charm. I think the bigger difference we'll see on Angmar and Mordor related to the release of Moria is really the ring wraith
What do you need?
aspect of the server. Kindolf sent you to help me search for Sarah Oakhart and the missing Penlantier. Well, the search will be short, because one of my scouts have found her outside of Barad Gularan, the place where the Witch King studied his terrible art. She's made no effort to conceal her whereabouts, but I can think of no reason this would be so. You'll find Barad Gularan in the center of Nangurth, an evil valley haunted by wights and other dread creatures. Center of a series of bridges that surround it like spokes on a wagon wheel. Okay. Well, that is where we're gonna probably head next after, mostly from, well, we'll see. I'll probably get this done off camera, honestly. And I don't know what we're gonna do. So once I hit level 50, my focus is really going to be on I want to spend some time with both Hardtack and Forrester on stream. I want to spend some time doing maybe some raiding on stream if I can make that happen. That would be cool. I'd like to if I can. I guess we'll see. Okay. Good enough. I know how to get there, I think. I don't think we have any intention to do a large-scale in-game map rework. Sorry you don't like it. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. But no, I'm not aware of any plans to do major in-game map reworks. We do occasionally tweak maps when we get to revisit regions and things like that. But sort of a large-scale major overhaul of the system is not something I would expect us to be able to find time for. We had talked recently, Orion had, about how we had to shift out the timing of our kinship revamp, among other things. And all of these priorities have to compete in the same space with the same resources. And so I'm sure that that's something we could do someday, but won't be anytime soon. If we ever. It would be part of probably a 4K overhaul, would be my guess. Won't we be able to solo all instances in Moria if there's no improved scaling on T3? Well, that's a good question then. So it sounds like we'll have to reach out to Orion when you get an opportunity. Which should be soon. I suppose I could mention that here as part of the show. Perhaps they can give you more insight as to possible timing related to improving the scaling of instances in Moria. You want it to be more challenging like it was back in the day, presumably, rather than through the existing sort of state of game difficulty is I think what I'm inferring from what you're saying there. I'm not allowed to provide team size information. That's not really, that's proprietary, you know, we're a private company. I don't think we're interested in really getting into that. We're a pretty small group, though. Ah! Okay. Well, that ain't happening. So I ain't beating that 14,000 hit point giant. Really? I had to go all the way back here? Fine. Well, it's my fault. Oh, no, I'm a little further along. Okay. All right. Well, if someone's saying that perhaps Anmak Mahal has already talked a little bit about it casually in a Discord somewhere, that sounds fine. Sounds cool. Like maybe it's on their radar then, and they'll just take a look at it. So. Oh no! No. I think I even have a fall injury immunity item. Why am I not putting that on? Why am I even trying to get there? It's 12:57. I don't have time to get there and run this thing. So I think maybe let's just hang out and do something else for the next couple minutes. What else should I do? Answer questions. Am I aware of any large-scale overhaul? Yeah, I mean we are continuing to do that, right? We launcher, servers, authentication, hardware. I mean, we're doing all sorts of stuff. Kinships. Gosh. We've actually done quite a bit of fairly large-scale work in recent years. What is my favorite vegetable? Probably green pepper, I guess, because it's the most versatile. No, at this point we haven't gotten into detail about what our intentions are for kinship work, and part of that is that the design team themselves, although they certainly have plans already that they've drafted up over the years for possibilities, I think really needs to sit down as a group, figure out the scope, the size, the commitment, the scheduling, the processing, all that sort of thing, and get it into a workable, and this is what we will be doing for Update X setup. So until we have that happen, I don't think we could really talk about scope or size of the work. But in general, it would be bigger than the level of just doing a couple of tweaks. Perhaps likely smaller than the level of a complete top-to-bottom overhaul. I think the goal would be adding some long-standing features and requests, do some additional polish, and further refine and smooth out the system itself. What that means, I think we'll find out as we get closer to it. But I wouldn't expect to really hear anything about the kinship work until maybe the producer's letter next year. Red bell pepper? Oh, okay. I mean, I'm kind of down with saying red bell pepper instead. I use green pepper more, but I like red bell pepper. That's good stuff. Are there more birds to come after the current collected 214? Yes. I would expect to see us incorporate further birding advancement in future content, perhaps as a post-release feature, something like that. Like, I don't know that we're always going to be able to, like, for Legacy of Morgoth here, I don't know that we're going to have the whole region populated with new birds or anything like that, but we're going to be setting it up so that we can. So that when the time comes that we have time to roll out that work, we can start rolling out more birds to more regions and things. So I know we'll be doing that. I just don't know exactly the timeline for deployment. We don't really get involved in legal questions about third-party plugins, Smoking Charius. We definitely do not formally whitelist or give people official approval for their private app projects and things like that. Typically, we only get involved if we have to. But it's really up to the app creator to make sure they abide by our terms of service and code of conduct. Yeah, I think it's only been an area door, right? Because we don't have birding in Umbar yet. Is that right? Or do we have it in Umbar? I can't remember. I should know that. I can't think of that right now. How about I get you an answer for next week if I can? Thanks for watching Court of the Rings on twitch.tv/LotroStream. This show gets archived on YouTube afterwards. I'll be back next week. I'm going to be showing off some of the Harvest Math stuff. We'll be level 50 on Angmar, so we're going to be doing some post-release things there. Perhaps I will get on the 32-bit world of Lancherval and do some more instance running. We also have Harvest Math items to show off and some other cool bits. So, thanks very much for watching, everyone. I will talk to you next week. Stay tuned. Tolkien Professor is up next. We have got Druid's Fire on after that, and you can find our full schedule over on the Twitch page. Have fun, everyone. Bye-bye.